What's up, everybody? It's Bear with BearIndependent.com. Today we're going to talk about 5 reasons that preppers need compost. Hopefully, this is fairly self-explanatory. You might have noticed that Ice Cream Grandpa and Vodka Grandpa are kind of in a fight, and the big HOA is not happy about this. And things are getting weird. There's less food at the grocery store. The food that you can find costs a whole bunch more potatoes than it used to. The potatoes are getting smaller. There's not as many potatoes. Stuff's weird, right? And so compost, yes, those are parables. Figure it out. Compost, super de-duper important. Behind me, you will note approximately 50 tons of native soil, old hay, and cow poo. And this is hay that is organic hay. It's not sprayed with chemicals. It doesn't have any of that in there. It's not going to kill whatever I plant in it. It's good to go. And so the first reason you need compost is fertilizer for food production. Yeah, every one of you should be planting a garden, a victory garden, a whatever you want to call it garden. And I'm going to need to eat food and there might not be some at the grocery store garden. Probably a good idea that you produce some calories. Caloric king of the garden are tubers, man. I believe it's 22,000 calories from potatoes per 100 square foot planted. Sweet potatoes are somewhere around 12,000 calories. Corn is somewhere around 9,000 calories per 100 square feet. Grains, tubers, good to go. Calories, you're gonna need calories. Macronutrients like carbohydrates go a long way towards keeping people alive. Micronutrients, things like you get from peppers and tomatoes and salad greens and onions and all that, also good to go, but you're gonna need calories. So focus on calorie dense food. So this here is a pile of wood chips with a forklift in it. The second reason you need compost going as a prepper, whether this is a suburban prepper or a rural prepper or whatever, and you can do this in backyard suburbia. Ask me how I know. I did it. 11 raised beds, row crops, fruit trees, berry bushes, nut trees, backyard chickens, backyard meat rabbits, ducks at one time. Yeah, we did all this on 1/3 of an acre in North Texas in our suburban backyard. Can be done. We offset our food cost at the grocery store by 40% with what we grew in our backyard part-time, half an hour a day, tending the garden, an hour or two per week, weeding the garden, planting, so forth and so on. Second reason you need compost and or wood chips or whatever other organic material you can get your hands on is waste recapture. This is stuff that otherwise would have gone into a landfill, would just be laying around rotting. Underneath the top of these wood chips in here is beautiful black dirt that's decaying. Got this for free from the tree company. Go talk to the guy with the chipper behind his truck. He probably needs a place to dump his wood chips. He could dump it at the county landfill or he could dump it at your place. Fourth reason, yes, the dumpster's on fire. Economic update. Third reason, the best production, tremendous, believe it. Third reason, you need compost. Did you know that you can actually create hot water with an aerobic compost pile? Yes, you can. It gets pretty warm inside a pile of compost. And if you coil up some plastic pipe like PEX pipe or better yet copper pipe inside of there and you have a little pump to circulate that water, you can make hot water with compost. And I know for many of us, it's getting a little warm outside. What do I need hot water for? I don't know. Sanitation is kind of important. Remember that in any conflict, only 1/3 of the casualties are inflicted by the enemy. The other 2/3 are your fault. 1/3 of which is poor sanitation, which leads to infection and disease. And the last third is logistics. No food, no fuel, no commo, all of that. So 2/3 is your fault. Well, you could handle 1/3 of that problem with good sanitation, and hot water goes a long way for that. So yes, you can actually make hot water with compost, believe it or not. Now, the last reason preppers need compost is because, as David the Good likes to say, compost your enemies. Where are you gonna put all the leftovers, if you will? This might not look like much, but it is in fact one of our compost bins, and it doesn't look like much on the surface. But back in here is beautiful black chocolate cake dirt. Praise the Most High. Yeah, you might need a place to, stack the bad guys like cordwood. Also, when you butcher an animal, you totally just put the guts right in there. The hide even, the bones, if you will. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. People, why do people turn into dirt after they pass away? Because that's what they were made out of to begin with. Go read the book of Genesis. Yeah, I know, deep. But yeah, you got to compost your enemies sometimes. And having a robust compost pile is highly recommended for all types of preparedness-minded individuals. Fun little video today, but listen, don't be shy. Compost, do the things. Chickens are super easy if you live in suburbia, like for real, super easy. Backyard chickens, a compost pile, and raised beds is kind of like the minimum barrier to entry to backyard permaculture, and it works. Ask me how I know. I've done these things quite successfully with very little input of my time and very little input of my money. And unfortunately, as the world continues to get dumber and dumber and dumber every day, I think you're going to need to do more and more and more of these things so that you can provide for your people, to maintain normalcy for the people that you love in chaos, so you can operate from positions of strength, not be acted upon, but to act rather righteously in the uncertainty of whatever lies ahead. I appreciate y'all. Have a blessed day. Shalom.